respected anywhere in the world. We've totally lost our place in the world. Pretty soon we're going to lose our dollar as currency. It's the worst thing. That'll be worse than losing any war. They are so bad. And now I'm hearing the northern border is a problem. How about that one? The northern border. It's actually becoming less because the southern border is so bad they can say, you know, with me, they were trying because they couldn't get into it. We had the safest border in history. The safest border in history 3 years ago. All this guy had to do is go to the beach. Now, he's going to the beach all the time now. He's got a consultant. I don't know, Harmeet, if you know his consultant. He's got a consultant who thinks he looks good in a bathing suit, I guess. And he's at the beach every day. If he would have done that, instead of destroying all of the things we did, we had the greatest stay in Mexico, a little thing called remain in Mexico. We had the greatest catch and release. We used to catch and release them in our country. Our catch and release was you catch them, release them in Mexico. And Mexico was fine with it, because if they weren't, we were going to put tariffs on their cars like you wouldn't believe. And they said, we'd love to have you do whatever you want to do, sir. Together, we will reverse the decline of America, and we will end the desecration of your once great state, California. This is not a great state anymore. This is a dumping ground. You're a dumping ground. The world is being dumped into California. Prisoners, terrorists, mental patients. You have mental institutions. They say, sir, please don't use the words insane asylum, because that's, you know, that's Silence of the Lambs stuff. That's big stuff. Mental institutions, sir, is nicer. I said, no, I think I'll mention both. Mental institutions and then times 10 insane asylum. They're all being dropped. They're all being dropped into our country. We're a dumping ground. When I was president, I got along with Gavin Newsom, but I didn't like what he was doing. Very simple. I liked him. You know, he always goes around telling me we had a very good relationship. We had a good relationship, but I didn't like what he was doing. The people of California don't have water. They pay a fortune for the water. You know, I own something in Palos Verdes. Anybody play my big, beautiful club on the ocean? I actually think it's the best golf course in California, but beautiful with the clubhouse, everything, right on the ocean. And this is really on the ocean. I always say, I have the ocean, Pebble Beach has the bay. There's a big difference. It's true. They talk about Pebble Beach, Pebble Beach. No, no. I have the ocean, they have the bay. You know, the ocean tends to be better. Historically, oceans are better than bays. Do we agree, right? But I have to pay a fortune for water. To water the grass, I have to pay a fortune. If I told you the number, I don't even want to tell you the number. It's embarrassing. And you have so much water, and we're going to talk about that. But during that period of time, I got to know California quite a well. You know, I've owned that for a long time, and it's become a tremendous success. But the taxes that you have to pay and all of the things you have to pay, it's a very, very hard way to make a buck in the state. Very hard to do it. At one point, I was riding up a highway with a number of great congressmen, like Devin Nunes at the time, you know, Devin. He's heading up Truth Social. He left. He would have been the top guy in Congress. He wanted to do that. He's doing a phenomenal job. Is everybody on Truth, please? Better than any of them, Truth. And he's now the president and doing an unbelievable job. You know, he's the one that figured out Russia. I said, anybody that can figure out Russia can head up Truth Social. Do you agree? And he and Jim Jordan, they got the Presidential Medal of Freedom because they did such a great job. But at one point with Devin and some of his friends, congressmen, great ones, still there, we were riding up a highway and we're fighting so hard. They were fighting so hard for water rights. They actually said, could you come? We don't have any water. I said, no, I didn't know you had a drought. It's a man-made drought. You know that? Man/women. It's a women-made. I don't know. I don't think women did that, no. Women are too smart to do that. They don't create droughts. No, it's a man-made drought. Let's leave it man-made. I think women will be honored when I say that. But during the trip up the highway, I noticed massive amounts of farmland. It was all over the place, miles and miles. It was absolutely dry and dead. You could see, you know, I'm a real estate guy. I could see the soil was so beautiful, but it was just dry and absolutely dead. Except, does everyone know what I'm talking about? Except for little tiny patches where it was so beautiful, so green. It was greener than any farm I've seen. It was just beautiful. And I asked, what's going on here? Why is it that that land is so fertile, but right next to it for miles and miles, it's just empty, looks like a desert? And they said, because we're in a man-made drought. That's what they called it. We have a man-made drought. I said, what's a man-made drought? He said, we have tremendous amounts of money and other things coming at us to fight this, but it doesn't do any good because Newsom and any Democrat governor, they won't allow us to have water. You know, you have massive amounts of water coming down from up north. So I said, all right, I can understand about the water, but I don't understand why would they do that? Why are these patches so magnificently green? And it's a very small percentage of the land. They go, well, they allow us to water only these small areas, but most of the farmland, they don't let us even touch. They won't let us touch it. If I could do it, it would be billions of billions if they changed this. And we worked on it, and I'll explain that. It would be billions and billions of extra dollars coming into the state and coming into our country. And we have the water. And I said, what about a desalinization plant? Well, people don't like them because, you know. I said, what about a nice, big, beautiful But they said, we don't really need it, sir. We have so much water, we wouldn't know what to do with it. I said, explain, please. You know, I'm looking at this dry stuff. I said, explain. So much water, but up north, they have a valve. Do you ever see the valve? A massive valve, like your kitchen valve, but multiply it times 10,000. It's the size of this room. And all the water gets turned out and turned into the Pacific Ocean. Do you know that? You have so much water? So sad to see this. I mean, these people, it's so stupid. But they don't want the water to come down all the way to Los Angeles and the Central Valley, where we're constantly forced to ration. You have droughts. We're rich people in Beverly Hills. We don't feel so sorry for them, but I do actually. You know, they pay millions of dollars in taxes. They're taking a shower. They're told to hurry up. You're only allowed a small amount of water when they take a shower. That's why rich people from Beverly Hills, generally speaking, don't smell so good, you know. Typically. You ever notice? They're not great. Their hygiene is not good, but it's forced to be that way. So when you meet somebody with a beautiful house in Beverly Hills, you know that person is sort of disgusting underneath. But where you wash your hands and you're supposed to take no more than 30 seconds, they want a quick hands. And yet they're paying millions and millions of dollars in taxes. Millions of dollars, these people. And whether it's rich people or people that are just paying a small amount of that, you're allowed to have water, and you can have it for free, You know, we have all those canals. They're dry as a bone. So now in Los Angeles, when you have a new home, you have faucets, washing machines, dishwashers, all of the things, but very little water is allowed to come out. Like, as an example, I stayed in one of those houses, and they had a shower head. And I want to really work hard on my hair, and I don't want to take it. And I turn on the water. I thought the pipes were broken. They said, no. They call it a restrictor. They have restrictors in the thing, so no water comes out. So I'm standing outside, drip, drip. Can't wash the damn hair. The house, $35 million house, and you can't take a shower. Honestly, it's a bad way of life. I mean, it really is. It sort of hurts, and everybody. This goes for everybody. This is all because Gavin Newsom and the radical left Democrats, extremists, and the people that run this state in order to save an extremely unimportant, very little and non-productive fish, the Delta smelt. Did you ever hear of it? Do they have a picture of it? There it is. That little sucker is causing you to not be able to clean yourself. The Delta smelt. Because of that Delta smelt, you don't have any water, you don't have farms, you don't have anything. You're all going bust. And, you know, they were talking last year they're going to have to put massive amounts of restrictions on your water use. It's ridiculous, and then you pay a fortune for it, too. You have so much water. You have no idea. Millions and millions of gallons is sent out, is just turned out. You got to see this thing. Big, massive pipe, massive. And they turn. It takes a day. It goes, boom. At the end of a day, it's turned into the Pacific Ocean. In fact, we should get Harmeet to bring a lawsuit on that one. That's a good lawsuit. Army. That's a good one, Army. That's big stuff. She wants to do it. She'll do it free because she lives in this area, right? She wants. But when I was president, all of the work was completed in the federal government to make the big change in the quality of life for California. You could have so much water, you wouldn't know what the hell to do with it. And you had the water. And the papers were done. I got it done at the Commerce Department. Believe it or not, it was mostly a Commerce. Nobody ever thought that could be done. And that was the hard part. The state part was easy. All you have to do is get a governor to sign. But we did all the work. We went to him, Gavin Newsom, and he wouldn't sign it because he wanted to keep the environmental lunatics happy. These are lunatics. And we had it out. You wouldn't believe, but I'll tell you what, then we had COVID come in. We had a lot of things happening, and we did an incredible job. Look, we had the greatest economy in history. The greatest economy in history twice. We had it twice. But I had the federal government finish everything. All the paper was done. You were going to have so much water. You were going to say, please, please, Mr. President, don't give us any water. We're drowning in this water you're sending us. Coming from Canada, coming from up north when the snow melts, and we didn't know what the hell was going on. And you look at those, you know, we have all the infrastructure done. There are these big concrete bins where the water comes rushing down. They're also dry as hell now. They have weeds growing in them. And so it's all there. And the federal work was the hard part, and I got it done, but Gavin didn't want to do it. One of the first things I'm going to do when I get back into office for California is force Newsom to give you water. And by the way, the smelt is doing very badly. On top of everything else, I think it would do better if it had water, okay, to be honest. So much water that, you know, I mean, it's like just incredible, but the smelt is not doing well, but we're going to get the federal government to get everything done. We have it almost completed. It was totally completed, and I guarantee he will sign it very quickly if he's still the governor by that time. Who the hell knows? You had a recall. How did that work out? How did that work out? Well, one of the candidates running was doing well, and then they said, do you think the election was rigged and stolen? No, I don't. That was the end of his campaign. That was the end. They walked out. That was not a good thing to say, not a smart thing to say, and it wasn't truthful. I mean, the election was a disaster. But you'll have so much water, and it'll be a great thing. And some of the most fertile, I will tell you, for the farmers in the room, I don't know if you know it or not, but I got 28